Today we're going to talk about AI hallucinations. An AI hallucination, if you don't recall, occurs when a model generates incorrect or nonsensical information that it presents as factual. And perhaps you remember last year when Stephen Schwartz cited 6 fake cases made up by ChatGPT. That's an AI hallucination. Now, they exist. And the reason why they exist is because of the generative part of the programming. It's in the name of ChatGPT. G, generative. All of the generative tools that we use have the same generative programming. And the way the generative programming works is simply this. If there is a gap of information, the generative programming kicks in and fills that gap of information with what it believes should be there. And sometimes it gets it wrong. Sometimes it gets it wrong. Now, as these generative tools continue to learn, they get better and better. I have seen it over the past year and a half with ChatGPT that the hallucinations have become less and less. But at the end of the day, they're not going away. Hallucinations are interwoven into the DNA of generative programming. So we are never going to get to the point where there's zero hallucinations. So what do we do about it? Here's the tips to avoid hallucinations. First of all, test it to failure. Use your skill, ask ChatGPT specialized questions until it gets to the point where it creates an AI hallucination, because it will. The more specialized you get, the greater the chance you're going to see an AI hallucination. Always check your work. Do not put anything out there in the world without checking it first. I mean, that seems like common sense, but when you're using something like ChatGPT and it seems to be right all the time, you tend to get a little lazy. Don't get lazy. Whatever you create, it's only 30 to 98% complete. Use it to its limitation. This is not a technology where it's going to complete the job from start to finish. It's going to allow you to get there faster, but you're still going to have to go in and finish it off. And then lastly, perform what I call generative AI super searches. So when I'm looking up or researching something that's more important, and I want to make sure that I'm mitigating the number of AI hallucinations that potentially could be there, what I do is I prompt ChatGPT to search, and then I go to 2 other generative AI and ask the same question. And then I compare the 3. So here's an example. Go to ChatGPT. List all the state bar associations that have offered guidelines or opinions on generative AI. I get my response. Then I go to Claude. Same exact request. And then I go to another competitor, Perplexity, and do the same thing. Then what I typically do after that is I copy all 3 of them, put it on one document, and ask all of them to review each other's and see where the differences are. By doing that, you now have decreased your chances of AI hallucinations. But again, that doesn't eliminate it. You still need to check the work. So I highly recommend you try the generative AI super search and see how it works for you.